The room had been decorated to resemble the interior of a sailing ship. It was disturbingly effective. It was an indented well in the corner of the desk. I guess it was intended to hold ink, but it seemed unnecessarily wide. Maybe Ketch had used it to hold his rum bottles steady in heavy seas. The top surface of the desk had a large recessed area set into it. I guessed it was intended to stop things rolling off in heavy seas. There was also an inkwell, and a few inches away, a small hole with a feather placed in it. That looked like that's where it was supposed to be, so I left it there. It was one of those old pens made out of a feather. That might come in useful in ticklish situations. It was the quill I'd found in the Ketch Museum. It was an old book with spidery writing covering the open pages. March 20th, 1670 fix. Engaged frigate off Fan Falvador? It was garbage. Huh. I guess being a pirate didn't require too many academic qualifications. The passage went on to describe how Ketch had got wind of the approach of a fleet of English ships. It seemed the new governor had not shared his predecessor's views on Ketch's activities. They were out for his blood. Sailed to that place where I made secure my fortune. I returned safe in the knowledge that the governor shall not discover that which I had hidden. For is it not writ that 'tis easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle? It was a beautifully crafted model of a sailing ship. The ship looked too fragile to touch. It was a neat oil lantern made of brass. Holding that lantern, I felt kinda biblical. Like Jesus or Florence Nightingale. It was Captain Ketch's sea chest. Its battered appearance hinted at salty tales of maritime adventure and swashbuckling. Long months at sea with a rum-sodden, mutinous crew, hardtack and scurvy. And this chest, full to the brim with Ketch's loot, pearls, diamonds, emeralds, and doubloons. On the other hand, it could have been full of spare blankets.
Surprise!
What the? Who are you?
I'm Emily.
What were you doing in there, Emily?
Hiding. What are you doing here?
Grown-up stuff.
Grown-ups? I'm never gonna grow up, I'm not. You shouldn't be here. What's your name?
I'm George.
Pleased to meet you, Jaws.
George.
Jaws?
Jeez.
Make your mind up.
Do you know how to use a theodolite?
We don't learn anything about surveying at my school. Not until 5th grade.
Would you like to play darts?
No?
Oh, come on. I'll throw, you catch.
That's dangerous. Darts will stick in me and make me bleed.
Why don't you go play with Rio?
I'm not allowed.
How come?
Because Aunt Frost says I'm not allowed out of the house. That's why, Mr. Nosy Beak.
Too bad. Why don't you ask your other aunt if you can play with Rio?
Aunt Mina's cuckoo. Aunt Frost says so. She says when the Lord handed out common sense, Aunt Mina was off getting double portions of chin.
That Rio's a smart kid. He helped me outwit Bronson.
Rio is clever. He can spit ever so far.
Look, an ancient Mayan stone.
Is that a magic stone?
Well, I don't know about that.
No.
What can you tell me about Captain Ketch?
That's him on the wall, in the picture.
Yeah? Boy, that's interesting.
He was a sailor captain. This is his house.
The little girl had cute freckles, cute little nose, and the eyes of a KGB interrogator. Around her neck was a large cross on a chain. Fine. as long as she didn't try to convert me. Why don't you run along and play?
Aunt Mina told me. Stay out of mischief.
Well, that doesn't mean you have to stay indoors, does it? On a beautiful day like today?
There's a storm coming.
Oh, nuts. You don't know that.
I do so. I can see the whole world from the window.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm busy. There were several things I wanted to say to that awful kid, but I held my tongue. It was an actual pirate ship chart. Okay, I've had my hands on an historical document. Now what? The chart fitted exactly into the recess on the top of the desk.
What you doing, Jaws?
I'm putting this old map on the desk.
What you doing that for, Jaws?
Because it was obviously intended to fit in this recessed area.
How'd you work that out?
It's obvious. It was an old wooden barrel. Maybe it was from Ketch's ship. Yow! I should have known better than to put my hand in there. Grandma Stobbart had a nasty experience in a water butt once. Whatever lived in that barrel could stay there as far as I was concerned. It was a ship's bell. Two bells and all's well. Pirates were cool. It was a shiny and very sharp-looking pirate's cutlass. It would have been easy to reach the cutlass and slip it in my pocket. It would also have been the most regrettable action of my life. Captain Frederick Ketch, 1570. Around his neck was a cross. It was identical to the one the little girl was wearing. It was the portrait of Captain Ketch. The portrait might have made a nice souvenir, but it was too large to carry. The lantern fitted so precisely in the inkwell, it could only be deliberate.
What you doing now, Jaws?
Knock it off, will ya? There's something you ought to know. I don't buy cute or lost puppy. I've put the lantern in the inkwell. See? It fits.
Why?
Because it was cut to fit.
Why?
Because sneaky old Captain Ketch made it that way.
Why?
What is with all the questions?
'Cause I'm interested.
Why?
'Cause I have the insatiable curiosity of the young.
Why?
All right. Truce.
It was Captain Ketch's sea chest. That cross you're wearing, Emily,
It's my lucky Jesus cross.
it's just like the one Captain Ketch wore.
Uh-huh.
Can I borrow it?
Uh-uh.
What would you trade for that cross, Emily?
A puppy.
Well, I don't happen to have a puppy in my pocket right now. Can you think of anything else you'd trade?
Don't know.
There were several things I wanted to say to that awful kid, but I held my tongue. She wouldn't have been interested. She wouldn't have been interested. She wouldn't have been. She wouldn't have been interested. She wouldn't have been. That looked like that's where it was supposed to be, so I left it there. The desk had obviously been cut to fit the chart. Or maybe vice versa. The base of the lantern fitted precisely in the inkwell. It was firmly attached. It was the holder for the quill. The ship looked too fragile to touch. It was a beautifully... It was Emily. Short, cute, and irritating to know. A cute little putty tad. Actually, no. It was a mangy old flea bag. The novelty value of having an inner tube in my pocket had worn off. I left it there. I wasn't going to risk further laceration by the cat's claws. What do you give to a small, irritating girl who asks about everything?
Try a conch. Delicate colors, interesting shape, and when you put it to your ear, you can hear the sea.
Yeah, why's that?
Usually because you're standing next to it.
Cool. Have you got one?
Yeah, but I promised it to my sister. She well vexed with me.
Why is your sister mad with you?
Well, last night, when I got home with our supper, she went wild. Rio, she said, how come all you ever catch is puffer fish? A sicker puffer fish. What I want is tiger fish. So don't bother come back home till you catch one, boy. I don't see how I'm gonna catch no tiger fish. All I have is a fishing pole and a worm.
What do you need to catch a tiger fish?
One of them real fancy flies like the rich fishermen use.
Any use for a quill?
What's a quill?
It's what people used to write with in Captain Ketch's days.
No, man. I'd sooner be fishing.
There was nothing else on the bicycle wreck I could use. There was nothing else I wanted.
What you got there?
I didn't think the kid would be interested in that.
What you got there?
I didn't think the kid... Whatever lived in that barrel could stay there as far as I was concerned. Hard a port, bosun! Aye, aye, Captain Stobbart! She cannot take it, Captain! My lad's dead. Abandon ship! Maybe that wheel was from Ketch's ship. Suddenly, I was 12 years old again. There were several things I wanted to say to that awful... The cat made short work of the feather, tearing it into a blizzard of small pieces. The quill had been torn into small pieces. Hey, this is just what you need to make a fly.
Thanks. Let's hope them tigerfish hungry. A deal's a deal. Here's a conch.
It was the conch shell that Rio had given me. Here, I've got a conch. Would you like it?
Dunno. Aunt Frost told me never to take presents from strange men.
I'm not a strange man.
Then why are you called Jaws, Jaws? That's a stupid name.
I'm not called... Look, conch, pretty. Swap for the cross, yes or no? Right, this thing's going out the window.
Okay, we'll do swapsies.
There were several things. Ketch's crucifix was encrusted with precious gems. Ketch's cross slipped snugly into the penholder.
What you doing now?
Grown-up stuff.
I doubt that.
I've put your cross in this little hole in the desk.
Why?
Impulse mainly, with a dash of irrational intuition.
Silly. Only women have intuition.
The lantern cast a strong light over the desktop. The light cast a shadow of the cross. And the shadow fell precisely over a small, unnamed island shaped like a skull. That must be it. Ketch's Treasure Island.
Uh-oh. That's Zombie Island. It's a bad place.
No kidding? Well, bad place or not, that's my next port of call.
Can I come too?
The hell you can.
I never get to leave the house.
Ketch's cross was jammed into the penholder. I wasn't going to take the cross out of the holder. Somehow I just knew that was where it was supposed to be. That looked like that's... There were several things I wanted to... Would you take me to, Zombie Island?
In this weather? You're mad, man.
The rain will keep the zombies indoors. Just say I did meet a zombie. What would you do?
There ain't no zombies on Zombie Island. At least, not anymore. It's uninhabited.
Good. What do you mean, not anymore?
You still want to go?
I guess.
Well, I ain't had no luck with them tiger fish. And with the mood my sister is in, I'll be safer with the zombies.
So, this was Zombie Island. Somehow I'd been expecting something more sinister. Come on, Rio. Let's find that treasure.
No, thanks. I'm staying right here.
Oh, come on. You said yourself there's no zombies left.
Yeah, but that was while there was a big pile of seawater between me and this place. All me have now is this little bit between the boat and the shore, and I'm hanging on to it.